Welcome to another edition of the Buttercup Telecoms Files. This time I would like to discuss with you the telecommunications developments in the Netherlands. The Netherlands has always been a leader in a lot of new developments that are happening throughout the ICT industry. They're very innovative. They were amongst the leaders in the deployment of broadband. The majority of the people in Holland had broadband well before that level of penetration was reached in other countries. But at the moment it's a little bit coming to a crossroads, you know, where to go next. People have broadband, has been very successful. The government argued that that has been successful partly because of the policies that they had, which are very open in relation to competition, less to a lesser extent government intervention. But now you actually have to go to the next stage, and the next stage everybody agrees is fibre to the home. How are you going to do that? That's a very difficult sort of matter that actually requires the government to take a leadership role, and at the moment the government is not prepared to do that. It wants to leave that to the industry. And the industry, interestingly, in particularly the KPN, actually wanted to take that leadership role. You know, it said, okay, you know, we are interested in that. We are interested in actually looking at separating our infrastructure. There are the most advanced wholesale access facilities available in Europe to the KPN fibre to the home network. But that has not really resulted in a massive uptake of fibre, not to the extent that everybody would like to see. Partly, of course, because if you just do it on having access to the internet, then the price of access to the internet becomes very high, something like 60 euros a month. And you don't get more than 25% penetration of the population being able and prepared to pay that sort of money simply for internet access. So you're missing that transsector approach whereby you actually start delivering other services over that same infrastructure as well. KPN has been very supportive of the transsector sort of concept and policies and actually invest in people and projects to actually make that happen. But so far the Dutch government has not made that decision to actually start utilizing the infrastructure on a mass scale for that sort of applications. And that is now hampering the rollout of fibre. You know, KPN finds it difficult to see a business model going forward if it doesn't have the transsector support from the government. The government on the other side have provided a policy that is empowering the cities to take a bigger leadership role in fibre to the home rollout. So they realized that fibre to the home could be a utility, and therefore that councils, local councils, could play a role in that. And if they deploy the infrastructure, obviously that could be at a lower cost, and that then in turn would actually start stimulating the use by the users and also hopefully by the transsector policies. So the judges are still out, of course, how successful that will be. Are local councils the right organizations to do that? Should we have a national approach rather than a city-by-city approach? Obviously no one knows the exact answers to all of those questions. It definitely is an interesting model that the Dutch are following, and it's just one of the models that we can add to the overall global picture and learn from each other on how and how to go forward and what's the best policies and what are the best strategies to make it all happen. I hope that you enjoyed this edition of the Buttercup Telecoms Files. Additional information is as always available at the end of the video clip. I'm interested in your feedback, and hopefully see you next time.